Hey, so huge news on the camera front. Canon, the world's largest camera manufacturer, have just announced that the Canon EOS R, their first ever full-frame mirrorless camera. It's going to be a deal breaker. So hot on the heels of the big announcement from Nikon, Canon have now followed suit with their own mirrorless full-frame camera. It's been a long time coming. A lot of people, myself included, have moved away from Canon because, well, they didn't really offer what we wanted. And a mirrorless camera is really, with a full-frame sensor, gives you this lovely blown out background with a nice fast lens. It gives you a lot of flexibility. But Canon have been, well, late to the party, to say the least. They've left the door wide open for people like Sony and Panasonic to come stamping in all over this market. I'm using a Sony camera right now. I've sold all my Canon lenses. But here's the thing. This new Canon EOS R is also bringing in a brand new range of lenses. So they are really going for this. This is a big deal for Canon. And if you've been waiting to change cameras for quite some time and you're in the market for a high-end mirrorless camera, this could be exactly what you're looking for. Let's go over some of the stats. So the first big one that people are going to love, the screen. It's a full flip-around screen, which is a big deal for video bloggers. I don't personally use that because I use an iPad right there. But a lot of people really like that. So that's a big deal. Also, the lenses allow you to have control of the aperture and from the exposure on the lens itself, which means less fiddling with the back of the camera, which is kind of hard to do if the camera is that side of you and you're facing the lens. Also, Canon have upgraded their app so that you have more control of the camera from front of house, which is again what I do right here with the Sony. Very, very useful. And also the body is kind of pro-end. So it's weatherproofed. It's a metal body construction. Very, very high quality. All Canon cameras have been excellent. They've just been lacking in features. The sensor is a 30.3 megapixel full frame sensor. The camera supports everything you'd expect, including 4K at 30 frames a second, which is great for you 4K enthusiasts. Although I've got a video coming out very soon as to whether you need 4K, but that's another story. It's also got the Digigate processor, which Canon are famous for. So this is a serious entry into the camera marketplace. It records RAW, JPEG. It records 8 frames a second for up to 100 frames in burst mode. The autofocus has a 5,600 and something point AF system, and let's be honest, as good as this Sony is, Canon are the champions of autofocus. So this is going to be a really, really good camera for video bloggers. It's also got a very, very good low light setting, -6 EV. Now you need to have obviously a good lens for that, but the sensitivity is going to be excellent for those dark and moody shots. Also, the AF system can focus now in as little as 0.05 seconds. That makes it the fastest AF system in the world, according to Canon. So yeah, this sounds, I'm excited, I'm not going to lie. The screen is a OLED 3-point-something million megapixels. There's a new interface with a touch slider, which looks interesting, taking a page out of Apple's playbook by the look of it. And that's not a bad thing because this camera comes with all new lenses, even though there are adapter rings going to be available if you've already got some Canon glass. A lot of people going to this camera are going to be buying it fresh. They're going to buy a body and brand new lenses to go with it. So now is probably a good time to put a new interface for that, particularly as it's aimed at a different market. It's aimed at a video blogger, a storyteller market. It's a big first for Canon, as I've said. Also, the camera's hot shoe is compatible with their existing speed lights. So if you've already got a Canon flash gun, which I actually still have as one of the few Canon things I still have, it'll work with the new camera. Here is the big aha! Canon are going back to their old ways. At 4K recording, it has a 1.7 crop. That is a big ass crop. If you're not sure what a crop means, basically what you get is your full frame, like you're looking at here. So that's my frame with a 1.2 crop. With 1.7, you would only get this much usable space, give or take, of your lens. Come on. Now, my A7 III doesn't crop at 24 or 25p, and even at 30p, it only has a 1.2 crop. I'm using it right now. Not really a problem. 1.7 crop? Man! Canon, what are you doing? Then you add the fact that, unlike pretty much everything else in its marketplace, the Canon has no optical image stabilizer. No stabilization. The Sony does. Panasonic GH5 does. The GH5S doesn't, but it has other stuff. It only has a single SD slot. And as I've said in other cameras, that's for by the way, this camera is coming in at over £2,000 just for the body. So if you've only got a single SD slot, that's really limiting it. I'm surprised to see a pro camera with only one card slot. That means I'm never going to take that camera into the field. It's going to be studio only, and I'll probably end up using an external HDMI recorder. The good news, however, is that external HDMI recorders support full HDR or 422 HDR and 4K. So you're going to get really high quality output from your HDMI recorders. Although, like a lot of other still cameras, it'll only give you a maximum recording time of just under 30 minutes. That's pretty common, and I'll be honest, if you're shooting for more than that, you're probably going to take a break and swap cards anyway. Let's go through some of the specs that I've got here. Effective megapixels is 30.3 megapixels. That's slightly down from the EOS 5D Mark IV, but only by like 0.1 megapixel. So wow. You've got dual pixel RAW format, bokeh shift, ghosting reduction, 5600 selectable AF positions, 8 FPS one-shot AF. Let's see, only one card slot, which I'm disappointed with. 4K, proper 4K movies now in MP4. Thank you. One of the big problems with a 5D Mark IV is it used this weird MJPEG format that nobody could use and was really slow. This is MP4, so this is just going to work with your computer. It has Canon log for those of us that shoot in log format. Yay! You've also got full HD at 50 or 60p, and HD can support up to 100 or 120 frames a second. HDR movie, 4K movie, 4K time-lapse. So lots of really useful features here. Focus peaking, GPS is recorded with images provided you're synced to a mobile phone. So there's some really good stuff in this camera. Now in addition, as I've said, this is a brand new mount for Canon, so there are 4 brand new lenses being launched at the same time. For the EOS R mount, we have the RF 35mm f1.8 IS macro lens. We have a 50mm f1.2, that's going to be a beautiful lens for portraits. We have the RF 24 to 105mm f4. That's going to be a nice lens. These are all good lenses. And then a really good walkabout here. We've got a 28 to 70mm f2. They've really gone for the lenses that people are going to be using a lot of. Okay, so look, you've got some really, really good features, and for a 1080 camera, this new EOS is a great camera, but we've already got a lot of great 1080 cameras. The world is not short of great 1080 cameras. Now, arguably, that's all we need is a 1080p HD camera. That's fine. But a lot of people are only going to buy an expensive camera, a $2,000 body, or $2,200. They want everything. They want 4K. They want to be future-proofed, even if we don't really have a need for it yet. And that's going to be a big problem for Canon. And a lot of people are going to feel that finally Canon have turned up to the party and the balloons have gone flat because they are not quite delivering what people want. And it's such a shame. I really, really, really want Canon to come back into this game strong because, well, I like Canon. And even though I'm probably going to get one of these, will it replace what I've already got? No, it'll just be for enthusiast use and for, fun. The GH5 and A7 III are probably still going to do better video for the work that I do. And these are old cameras in the scheme of things in technology world. Last year's news. Come on, Canon, you're better than this. So there you go. What do you think? So, as always, thank you so much for watching. Please comment, like, share, subscribe. Don't forget, if you're new to the channel, hit that alarm bell to be kept informed of all my updates. Coming up on the right now is the last video I shot, and below that is the one YouTube thinks you should watch next. Thank you so much for watching. I shall see you in the very next show. Bye!